Hey friends, okay, so today's video is all about technology in today's world with our children specifically. How do we handle that? I know it's so different from when I was a child, so it's something that I feel like all of us as parents are navigating. Social media, phone, TV, YouTube, how do we do that with our kids in a good, holy way? And so down in the comments, I would love to hear your input on this conversation. I know there are going to be people who have different ideas from me, different ideas from other people. I just ask that you please be kind down in the comments. Be charitable, loving. I'm going to kind of share my story and what we do with our children with technology. So I will say my mom had this huge conversion when I was a child, and she totally got rid of our TV, 100% gone, no TV, no movies, no nothing. And then she married my dad. So they got married when I was about 7, and then my dad, we moved into my stepdad's house. They still live there today, and they had a TV, and that was something that he wanted to have in case there was news or something that he, you know, they didn't watch a ton of TV, but it was there. And we never had cable growing up. That was like, all my friends had cable. We didn't have cable. I didn't know what they were talking about. It's really interesting because we were never allowed to watch TV. So every Friday was movie night, so we got to watch a movie every week. But other than that, we didn't really watch a lot of TV. When we got older, my mom would go out and like run errands or do things like that. And all of the kids would run to the TV, turn the TV on, and binge watch it. And then we could see my mom, the way our house is, we could see our mom come down the driveway, and so we'd all turn it off and go do something really quick. And so it's really interesting because I felt like there was like a really unhealthy relationship with TV because of that. Like it was all shut down. And so we were so curious and wanted to watch and see what the world was doing and, you know, all of that. And of course my mom was trying to protect us from that. But I think it's really interesting because she did that all through high school, and then I went off to college. And I think I had a problem, to be honest. Like it was the first time where I could like watch any and everything I wanted, and I feel like I was addicted to TV. Like I just was constantly, I'd get in the house, and if my roommates weren't there, I'd turn the TV on right away and I'd watch everything instead of doing my homework. I just remember that, like remembering times, oh, my roommates won't be here now, like I can go watch, you know, a show, and I can watch movies, you know, and all of this stuff. So anyway, I want to say it was a very unhealthy relationship with TV, and I think it's because there was like a part of me that like was so curious about it growing up. So now that I'm a parent, I'm trying to be a lot more balanced about it, because that is something when my kids go out into the world, I want them to know. So how can they handle that? How can they deal with different things that, you know, is going on in the world? Because I can't be there to babysit them their entire life. Like eventually they're gonna go out, and I don't want them to have the same problem I did where they just like wanted to consume every and anything. We know that's not right. So what we do in our house is we do let our children watch TV. We don't let them watch a lot, and we have to okay what they watch. There are some really good shows, and especially if it's kind of like Netflix, but it's Catholic. It's called Formed, and then it's .org. And it's really hard to set up on your TV, I will say, but I have it on my phone, and so it can like go to my TV, if that makes sense. So my kids, once in a while, will watch that, and there are like really decent, good, like Catholic little shows for kids and stuff like that, like age appropriate. Brother Francis is one that I absolutely love. So things like that where they're learning virtue, they're learning the faith. If I need a break, I can put those on and I feel good about it, you know. But it's another thing if it's just like they're watching it all day. That's a whole different thing. They say, you know, it's not good for the child's development and social skills and all of that. So there is a lot of research that is now saying like obviously binge watching is not good. So my sister did the opposite. She is my older sister, and she let her kids watch TV all the time. I think it was like her rebellion thing of like, okay, if I didn't get to do that, my kids can watch whatever and anything they want. And that was kind of interesting too, because her kids watch so much TV that they got bored of it. They didn't want anything to do with TV. Like to this day, they don't watch TV at all. And I find that fascinating. So I was like, huh, like that, like it's a very interesting, like almost experiment, right? My little niece Madison, when she was a little girl, her favorite movie was Little Mermaid, and she had it on repeat constantly. And so she would watch that all the time, day in and day out. And I don't know if this is contributed, but now she has really bad anxiety. Like she kind of always has, like she doesn't know. I remember her asking my mom, her grandma, like, is that real or is that fake? Is that TV? Like it was hard for her to know the difference between reality, what was fake and on TV and stuff like that. So it's very interesting, like how people do TV differently. I have friends who there's not a TV in their house, you know, and that's how they decide to parent. So Eric and I try to do a more like balanced approach to it. We do have like movie nights and things like that. It's pretty rare because we're so busy, but we do let the kids watch a little bit of TV, and then we also let them watch a little bit of YouTube. But YouTube is, I mean, it's all scary if you ask me, but they know they have to approve it with us, and they do. So I have teenage boys. So Thomas is 13, almost 14, and then Jacob is almost 13. So he's really close to being that teenager. And so Eric and I are really trying to balance it, like in a different way than what I grew up in. You know, I don't want it to be like that where they go to college and they just binge watch and they see things they shouldn't have seen. I'd rather be in our home where we can actually talk them through different things and things like that. Obviously, we still have limits. We're not gonna let them just watch whatever they want. Some of the things, now their big thing is they want YouTube. Like there are good YouTubers out there that are really fun, entertaining, that we let our kids watch. Like Mark Rober is one. He talks a lot about science, but he's really interesting and fun to listen to. And so far there hasn't been anything like really against the faith. It's not something that we'd be like, wait, what is he talking about? He's really good, really entertaining, like I said. There's Ryan Trahan, who he's Christian, and his newer things, he's Christian. And so those are really fun. He just kind of travels around. And then there's Dude Perfect, which I know some people don't let their kids watch because they're very overexpressive, but I personally like them, and my kids are fine with watching them. Like they don't get all worked up. But those are the things, so they know if they do get time to watch YouTube that those are the things they can watch, and they're very honest. So I'm also going to talk about phones and video games. So video games, my kids, they are allowed to play 20 minutes a day of video game time, and I actually let them do it first thing in the morning. And the reason why is because they would just talk about it all day, like, oh, can we play it now, can we play it now? And so they play it first thing in the morning, and then they go live their life, and they don't hound me or anything. So it's kind of worked out for our family that they can play their video game first thing in the morning, and they don't play video games that are shoot up games or anything like that. It's more like Mario Kart and Mario and things that we were growing up, you know. So so that's what so the three boys play video games. It's like a bonding thing for them. Eric rarely plays with them. If they can talk him into it, he will, but he's not a big like video game person or anything. But I do think it's really important for them to have limits. And something that I think is interesting, so with St. Carlo Acutis, my boys love him, and they absolutely think he's amazing, and they think that's so cool that a saint played video games and all of that. But I have to remind them that the reason why he was so amazing is because, not that he played video games, like anybody can do that, but I don't think he had a time limit from my understanding, and he would limit his own time, and he knew that that could be addictive. And so he knew to, I think he only like played it on Sundays or something. Like he really narrowed down the playing time because he talked about how that could be addictive and stuff. So, and I think every child's very different. Like some kids, maybe that's not what they should have. For my kids, I feel like it's fine because they do bond over it. It is fun. And then they go play basketball the rest of the day. And you know what I mean? Like it's not a problem so far in our house. If it is, we would have to like relook at it and figure it out. Like, you have to do what's best for your family. Cell phones, the last thing is cell phones. My two boys, I have a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old. They both have a cell phone. And before you like get all mad, they have, it's called a Gab phone. And so Gab phone, there's different tiers to it, but mainly there's no social media on it. Like, they can't access anything social media on it. They have different tiers. So the first tier is where they start off. So pretty much it's a phone. You can take pictures, but you can't send any pictures or get any pictures back. You can text message, but the parent has to approve it. The only like app, because it looks like a smartphone, it looks like an iPhone, but the only app that is on there are like really boring ones. So the only game they have is chess. So I'm like, I kind of like this, but the reason why we even like allowed them to get phones is so that, because they play sports. My kids play sports, and there are times we live in kind of a, we live in a good neighborhood, but to get to their school, it's like, it's really rough. And so there's been times where there's accidents and things happen, and I can't get to the school on time to pick them up for basketball game or something like that. And so it is comforting for me to know, like, I can call them and tell them, hey, I'm gonna be like 3 minutes late or 10 minutes late or whatever. And so they bring it with them, and you know what I mean? Like, it is for us like a safety thing. Eric and I now date, now that Thomas can babysit, and it's very comforting to know that he has his phone and that he can text if there's an emergency or call us. And all of our neighbors are amazing. So if there is an emergency, he could easily go to any single door around us and they would help him. Like, we're good friends with all of them. It was a game changer once they got the phone, and I don't feel like they abuse it or use it too much or anything like that. And we wrote out this whole contract with them. Like, if you use this too much, if you're, you know, abusing it, you know, like spending too much time on your phone and all this stuff, which they really, there's not much on their phone, so they don't, we can take it away. We want you to know we will switch it out for a flip phone, which, you know, maybe that would have been the right thing anyway, but they really have been really good. They text their friends and they're like, you know, can you come over on Saturday or whatever. So far, it has been good. They, like I said, on the Gab phone, so it's G-A-B-B, they do have like different tiers. So the next tier is like, you can text people pictures and stuff, which I don't really like that. But the great thing is everything kind of goes through my phone. Like, if there's anything suspicious, Gab sends it to me immediately, and I can, you know, okay it, approve it, all of that. So I do like that. I kind of know what's going on at all times, which is great. And they have a feature on, if like you lose your phone, like I can like look at where it is on my phone, and I'm like, oh, there they are, you know. So anyway, so my kids actually do have a phone, but it is not, it's a dumb phone really. It's not a smartphone, and I love it. I'm so thankful that they do. It is very comforting to me to know that I can contact them if there is an emergency or something like that. Our school does not allow phones, so that's great too. I love that. They're not on their phone all day or anything like that. They have to leave their phone at home, or they can keep it in their bag, but they cannot take it out. And there's like severe consequences if they do. So I don't think my boys even take it to school. So yeah, so that is what we do. I know that's gonna be really controversial for some people. For some people, they're gonna be like, oh, that's not a lot. So it is something, but I think I just really wanted to get like ideas out there, conversations, and every child's very different. So as a parent, we need to like kind of recognize like, oh, this might be an addiction. This looks like it's headed in the direction of being an addiction or something like that. And then we can kind of help them cope with that, so that when they do go out in the real world, they can hone that in and figure out how to handle those type of things. It's been something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but I've been a little nervous because I know people have very, very strong opinions about it, but it is what it is. And so I just wanted to share what we do in our family. My husband and I together have decided that this is what works for our family, and we can always tweak it if it's starting to not work, or you know, something like that. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see y'all later. God bless. Bye.